Welcome everyone. Hi. If my sound is really good, let me know. If I'm clear and the sound is good as well, let me know. Please let me know. Give me a thumbs up if the sound. I'm about to be joined by Abisola Kola-Daisi. Some of you may know her as the daughter of the former governor of Oyo State, Senator Abiola Ajimobi. And I've been looking forward to this live for such a long time. So as soon as she joins us, I will bring her on. But I have been looking forward to this live with her because she's somewhat of a, I don't know how to describe her. She really is, fabulous from what you see, from what she allows you to see. She lives the reality lifestyle. Abby's joined us. And I remember actually requesting to have this live with her last year. And unfortunately, that was when, I think it was shortly after that her dad passed, so we couldn't have that live. But I'm so glad that she can join me today to have this live chat. You think about celebrities or people who are influencers on social media is that we think we know everything about them. And then you meet them and you realize you really don't know anything. They only allow you to see what they want you to see. Hi, Abby.
Hi.
How are you? So nice of you to join us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm just trying to be in the perfect spot where my internet works.
Okay.
It's just like, why today?
So we'll wait. I know, right?
It's
always so
to
unpredictable.
hear me. I know. The devil tries it, but you know what? We're going to make sure that this works because I've been looking forward to this.
Yes. So have I. So we're going to wait for Abby to get the perfect spot. We know how the network can be. So please bear with us. Hopefully very soon we'll be settled. I'll be able to have this conversation that I've been looking forward to for over a year, by the way.
Wow.
I'm just going to wait for Abby to find the perfect. So yes, over a year.
Okay,
I've been harassing
I'm just hoping that you're able to hear me perfectly and you're able to see.
Can everybody hear Abby? If you can hear Abby, just give her a thumbs up in the comment section. If she's loud and clear. Sorry, I don't have the Rona, but I have a bit of a cough. So
I from Omar.
The weather is
so.
Oh
Thank
wow!
You,
no.
Yeah, literally, I'm not kidding.
Thank God you're alive and well. Oh wow.
Thankfully.
Yeah. Thank God you're here. Thank God you're alive. Okay, so we can hear Abby. Hey Rani. Hey Toy. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you everybody for joining us on this live. Great. So everyone can hear you and you can see her. We're all loud and clear. Fabulous. So how are you, Abby? How are you?
Hi, Ronka. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, it is such a pleasure. I was harassing Fulala for this live for such a long time, but I'm so glad that we're finally able to have it.
Yes, I haven't done a live in almost 2 years. The last one that I did was with my mom. Yes. And then my dad just kind of like showed up. Yeah. So I'm excited and I'm ready.
And so am I.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in.
So how was your Christmas, though? How was your Christmas? What did you do? I was asking about your Christmas. How was your Christmas?
Okay, so I basically spent Christmas Day by myself. I took a test on Christmas Day. I tested positive, but I tested again yesterday and I'm negative. So thank you, Jesus.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. So we're grateful. We're definitely grateful that you're here, you're well, you're alive. So that's fine. But I don't think anyone thought AbiKD was going to be spending, Christmas all by herself. That's not the picture.
Yeah, that's not fabulous, but yeah.
Yeah. So, this season, everyone's always talking about what they're grateful for. I'd like to start with asking you, what are you most grateful for? Besides your family and great health.
Honestly, yeah, I think that I'm just grateful for life, to be able to be here and just be doing what I love and being able to be here for my kids and being able to be, a good friend to my friends and my family. Just grateful to be here and thankful. I always, that's kind of like my motto in life. I always make sure that I just maintain a heart of gratitude.
Okay, Abby's frozen again. Oh, sugar. Oh, what's that? Oh, Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate, activate, activate. Okay. All right, Abby, you're frozen again. Okay, we're gonna wait. Yes.
Do this again.
A little dark one. This we'll take it. We'll take it.
Oh, is it dark? Do you want some light?
No, this is fine. This is fine. As long as we can hear you, it's
Okay.
fine. Really,
Okay.
really. I mean, you were talking about all. I mean, being able to do all that you do, and you really do so much. Abby, your mom, you're a serial entrepreneur. Something I think you got from your mom.
Yes.
You're a fashionista extraordinaire. And
Thank you.
Do quite a number of things. So, I mean, oftentimes when we ask moms, or how, especially celebrity moms, you know, there are moms who struggle with trying to do, you know, multitask and stuff. How do you determine what you outsource, and how much support you get that allows you to do all that you do?
Right. So for me, my home is my first ministry. So I always make sure that I have structure in my home, you know, concerning my kids and my husband, and obviously making sure they're, you know, doing everything they're supposed to do at the right time. And I just also put a structure in place regarding my businesses, making sure that I have the right team so that I'm able to really focus on what is most important to me, which is my family first. I'm really a domesticated, homely, yes, I'm very into, you know, doing stuff for my husband and, you know, making sure that his food is like what he wants to eat and what are they making every night. I don't enjoy cooking as much, but I do make sure that I am on top of all those things that regard my home or concern my home. And everything else comes second, but I make sure that I have a good team in place. I don't have to go into the office every day. I work out of the house more than ever now. But I do have a good team in place, and you know, I just make sure that home comes first and everything else is second.
It's secondary. And we're honored to sort of not have front seat, because I know you only allow us to see.
You don't.
Exactly.
You don't
We don't have front seat.
well,
I'm glad that we're able to see some bits of your life. Do you sometimes wish you were more private? There are certain people, I mean, sometimes you wish you didn't share as much. You share your husband, which is amazing, because I learned so much about your marriage with your children. Do you sometimes wish you were more private?
That's a good question. I think that I share what I want to share. So I don't wish that I was more private, because I'm a very happy, outgoing, personable person. My husband wishes I was more private, because he's very much more conservative than I am, but I share what I want. So I'm okay with what I share, because I'm giving what I want to give. Because I think it's important for people who, for whatever reason, why ever they follow you, I think it's important for them to really see your authentic self.
True.
To some degree. You know, I'm not selling you a dream. It's not, you know, it's not a fake life. It's my life, right? But I will give you what I think that I want to give. I'm not going to give more than I want. So I'm okay with what I currently share.
Yeah. And I remember someone asked, I think it was Rihanna that was asked this question recently. What about the days that you feel that you don't feel so confident, you don't feel so happy? What do you do when you have days like that?
When I don't feel confident,
yes.
What do I do in terms of sharing, or what do I just do generally?
Sharing, just basically, do you just lay in bed? Do you just shut
down?
I
have those days a lot, and I stay home. I spend a lot of time with my kids. I'm just there. Like I don't do anything. I just allow myself to dwell in that moment and deal with it.
Yeah, and what we also get to see is, I mean, your bond with your sisters, which is amazing, because I'm also very close with my sisters, and I love it when I see siblings. And I used to think that was normal till I met a few people who just could not be in a room with their siblings for more than 5 minutes. It would get awkward. I mean, wow. How did you form that bond? Was that as a result of your parents? I mean, there are parents here who would want their kids to have that kind of bond as well. Who do you think is responsible for that kind of bond between siblings, parents?
I definitely have to give all of the credit to my parents. My parents literally raised us in love, with love, and that bond came from them. Because they are so close and they're so obsessed with each other and genuinely in love with each other, and that just, you know, shone through for the kids. And that's how they raised us. They raised us in love. You know, every time that you did something wrong to your sibling, you'd have to say sorry and give a hug, or like, you know, how they put you in like a t-shirt and make sure that, you know, all of you are hugging tight in one t-shirt. So that's how we were raised. However, of course, like any other family, you know, you have your misunderstandings, but for the most part, we're truly in love with each other and genuinely like each other and love each other's company. We really make each other happy. Like when we're around each other, it's like,
we can tell.
burst of energy and laughter and joy. And we're very happy to be around each other.
We can tell, and it's super amazing to watch. Amazing. I must
Thank
commend your
you.
parents. They did a fine job with you guys.
Thank you.
So,
And I'm the first of 5 kids, right?
Yes. So, how does that feel? Is that a lot of pressure? I know lots of firstborn, African firstborn.
A lot of pressure.
This. Really?
No, it's definitely a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure to you know, to do right. A lot of pressure to carry on that, you know, legacy. A lot of pressure to carry on the love that is already, you know, built within the family. Right. But I think that a lot of things are innate because I'm very similar to both parents. So I think that I have it in me. I love my family. So I it's, you know, I get it done. Yeah.
It's lovely. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
I mean, Nigerians often have this sort of outlook on politicians' kids. Your dad was former governor of your state for 8 years.
Right.
8 years as former governor of your state. I mean, how do you handle resentment that Nigerians often have for kids of politicians or wealthy people? Do you ever get? I see some comments on some of your posts, so I see that sometimes you do get it. So, but how do you respond to that?
Honestly, I don't want to sound cliche, but I really have grown a thick skin. I am not one that what people say about me or my family affects. Like, I'm not one of those people. I always say that I was built for that type of life. I think that as a family, you know, sometimes it does affect and it does bother because, you know, my dad always used to say, how many people can you prove to, or how many people can you explain to, or how many people can you tell that that's not true? But, you know, you just have to allow people because, I mean, people are not going to talk about you if you're irrelevant, right? So it comes with the territory. I wish people would just be more just discerning and not judgmental.
Kinder.
Right, and kinder, but it's okay. You know, it happens. I can't change. I would never change the family that I was born into for anything. So it is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
It's a journey.
And sometimes I often wonder, with especially people who are related to people in politics or people who have sort of served in, you know, leadership in Nigeria, when you see how things are in Nigeria, people expect that you shouldn't complain because you're part of, you know. So how do you respond to that?
That's a good question. You know,
and when you see how things are in Nigeria, I know nothing's perfect. No one's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. We've gotten this. I mean, I've gotten it for the last maybe 10 to 15 years of my life. I don't respond. I don't. And you know, I think that in the past I've tried to be defensive, but I think it's best not to respond. The end justifies the means. And I think that, you know, posterity always speaks for itself, right? Like you eventually just find out who people really truly are. I don't respond to negativity. I don't do very well with that. And then I also married somebody who isn't really into reading blogs or he doesn't condone those things. So it just really makes life easier for me.
Yeah. That's good. But how did it feel? I mean, the 8 years that your dad was, was governor. How did it feel being the daughter of? I mean, your dad was a charm. Your dad was an enigma. Your dad would be in a place and you'd feel his vibe and his aura.
Yeah.
Have everyone laughing and stuff like that. Even people that were, had something to say against him would end up laughing and stuff. How did it feel? Because I don't think you spent that much time in Ibadan.
No, I didn't.
So how did it feel? I mean, being the daughter of the governor at the time.
I felt it was a humbling experience, I must say. I mean, of course, I was very proud of my dad, and I was just honored to, be a part of his journey. For me, on the flip side, I think that you just saw people different. People, there were a lot of cycle fans around you.
Right.
You just had to pray for a more discerning spirit so that you surround yourself with the right people. It never really got to us because, contrary to what people think, I don't think that we necessarily enjoyed certain perks. My dad will always say, oh, this is not Ajimobi and Sons government. And, you couldn't ask for anything. So I was just like, okay, well, just give me a handout then. Since
right.
I can't really do anything with this office, but I learned a lot from my dad as a governor. He truly was committed and dedicated to making sure that he served humanity. And I think that was one of the biggest lessons that I learned from him. Just making sure that, knowing that is why we're here, to serve humanity.
Right.
And, it was a great experience. Watching him doing what he loved to do and being able to balance all of that and still be the best dad and the best husband, so it was beautiful to watch him and his
And how about the being misunderstood part? I mean, let's talk about the bag posts. I think was that last year?
Girl,
yeah, that bag post and the backlash that came with it as well. Did you feel misunderstood? Did you feel? I mean, going back, I mean, how would you handle that situation?
I think that looking back, I must say that bag post might not have come at the right time. It was almost inappropriate. It was insensitive because of the times that we were in. However, I mean, at that time, I was personally my dad was in hospital. So he was, nobody knew that. So my dad was in hospital, and I think that it was some sort of a distraction. I was trying to, I don't know if in my head, I thought people knew that, and I was trying to do something that was just out of, the ordinary, out of the world, to take away the attention from that, or just still try to act normal. And there was this shoe challenge going on at that time.
Yes.
I was like, oh yeah, well, how about I do the bag challenge?
To distract myself, right?
You just have to take responsibility. It just wasn't the right time. It just was a bit insensitive, even for my situation. But I think I was looking for a way to distract myself. And I was projecting. I was trying to distract the world at the same time.
Right. Well, I know. For me, I thought, oh my God. Because I mean, I guess I quite didn't know that the backlash would be as much.
Right.
I mean, for someone who's just thinking, oh, okay, yay, nice. But then, I mean, wow. So what did you do? Did you get PR? Did you?
No. I don't. No. I am my own PR girl. I don't get PR. I was just not you curse me out. I'm a big girl. It is what it is. Just move on. And again, I must be honest. I really am not into reading the posts and the comments and the blogs. I'm not really into that because I have to protect my mental space. I recognize that. So I don't do stuff like that. But I'm sorry if anybody felt offended.
Yeah, well, I guess it's part of the territory. We all make mistakes, and the way you handled it, it was phenomenal. Well done for at least being humble enough to accept that. Okay, hey, I made a mistake, because other people would just go and start abusing people back in the comment section. and stuff like that, you know. So, but I mean, once again, sorry about your dad. I
Thank
mean, it was a
you.
huge blow. And I mean, we saw you, one thing you're also open about was how you sort of grieved. And what would you say was one of the most helpful ways of sort of coping with the loss of your dad?
I think that I'm still coping. I think that God heals. I always say this, but God definitely heals, not time. I even now, I'm not sure that I am completely healed. I feel like I'm just healing, and, you know, I've kind of put certain emotions in a box. I'm not sure if that's the healthiest thing to do. But I think that in time, God will open those boxes and heal me as I go. But it was my greatest fear for all my life, right? So, and it finally happened, and I was okay in those moments. I just couldn't even believe how okay I was. So I think that God heals. I think that my family, of course, including my husband and my kids, as well as my mom and siblings, just healing together and dealing together. I think that that's also helped. You know, but I don't think we're going to completely heal. I don't think that you completely heal. I think grief is for a lifetime. I must say.
I totally agree. I totally agree. I have lost loved ones as well. There's sometimes when you feel, oh yeah, I'm okay, and then the other time you just feel like, psh, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a big blow. Every day something reminds you of him. Like, you know, for me, sometimes I wake up, I see my son, and I'm just like, oh, you look like my dad. Yeah. You know, and then but so it's, you know, it's going to be there for a lifetime.
Yeah. I mean, what are you most proud of when it comes to him?
Everything. But, you know, one thing that I must say that I'm most proud of is his family, the legacy, which his greatest legacy for me is his family, because he was the best. Honestly, like, I can't emphasize that enough. He was truly the best father in the world. Like, he was everything. Like, he was present, a very present dad. He was very present. He was like our biggest cheerleader. There was nothing. Everything that we wanted to do, he supported us 155,000%. You know, even our husbands and our kids, you know, even when I'm sick, my dad will come around and just sit there at the bedside and just like, oh, mommy's sick. And I'm just like, you know, he was a very present dad. And I think that his family is actually his greatest legacy. It's very rare for you to find successful men, politicians that are able to balance all of that. So I'm very proud of him, because he left a great legacy in us, his kids and his wife.
Yeah, I mean, and he's done such a great job. I mean, we see you guys, and he's done
such a job. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And now it feels like your husband is following in his footsteps and getting to the murky waters of Nigerian politics. How did you feel when he told you, or did you always know he was going to get involved in politics?
You know, I have to be honest. I prayed for a man just like my dad. So I wasn't surprised. I truly wasn't surprised. I was like, oh, okay. It's finally manifesting, right? But I think that I'm very proud of him. It's a bold step, but I think that it's about time that, you know, we all just get involved in what we all have a stake in, right? Which is our country, Nigeria. As he always says, we can't just sit back and complain and, you know, about what the leaders are currently doing or what they're not doing. Why don't you just get involved any and every which way that you can, and see what happens. I'm extremely proud of him. I'm very, very proud of him.
Wow.
I'm excited.
There's no part of you that's scared. There's no part of you that's... Because Nigerian politics can be... It feels like, I mean, I've seen some people, and they just get into politics and it just messes them up. I feel like I see that time and time again.
No. My husband comes from a very well-grounded family. Yeah. He has a good head on his shoulders. Like, he's a very serious intelligent, you know, focused individual. So I truly believe in the journey. I'm not scared at all. I think if I'll be 100% honest, I have to say that, you know, I have some, it could be, I had moments where I felt like, oh my God, this is a bit traumatic. Like, oh gosh, like I don't want things to end up how like my dad ended up, or, you know, like I think those thoughts come to mind. But in terms of how he's going to perform, or in terms of the backlash, you know, like I say, it comes with the territory. Like, this is what happened in life. To whom much is given, much is expected. So you have to be ready, you know. An easy life ahead, that wears the crown.
Yes.
So
Yes.
let's do this, baby.
Yeah. I mean, your mom was a very hands-on first lady.
Yeah.
She was very, very present. She was very supportive of your dad. She was very out there. Are there things that you've learned, I mean, that you feel obviously you will find helpful as a politician's wife now?
Watched her. I am she. I have watched her. I have learned everything from her. I am very, very, very much like my mother. A lot of people call me Ruth. That's but yeah, I've watched her, and I think that, you know, it's very important for your partner to support you on a journey such as this. And we always say we're a team and we're in this together. And I'm ready. I'm ready to support him. I'm supporting him all the way, and he's great. And
wow. Well done. I mean, I really do wish you all the best. Politics for me, I always feel, I mean, get the sense of, you know what? I don't know. Obviously, because Nigerians are also very jaded.
Right.
Nigerians have gone through a lot, I'm sure you will admit, you know, with different kinds of leaders. So a lot of Nigerians are very jaded. And so even, I mean, they'll see something out of what is not there. So, I mean, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly of politics. Yeah. And yeah, and like you said, you have experience. Your mom was super hands-on. Hands-on, so much that even in your state, I think a lot of people felt like she was too hands-on.
Yeah, but like, you know, the other day when the vice president came for my dad's birthday, we launched, you know, something for my dad's birthday, and he attended, and he said that, you know, he remembers my dad would joke around and say people would always teach him that his wife was controlling him, and she was very involved in his career and his life. And he was like, well, she controlled me. I became the managing director of National Oil. She controlled me. I was a 2-time senator. Well, let her keep controlling me, because
maybe I'll be president. True. I also find that Nigerians, yes, when they find a successful man, they always feel, oh, you know, he's controlled by his wife, but hey, he's successful, so she must be doing something right.
Behind everything, an even greater woman.
Absolutely. And recently, you celebrated 10 years of being married to your husband.
Now we're 11.
Oh well, yes, going on 11. Going on 11. What would you say? I mean, in Lagos, we hear all sorts of things about people's marriages and stuff like that. And you, I mean, both of you seem to have a really tight and really, I mean, nice to see marriage. So what would you say are some of the components that have kept you still in love after 10 years in Lagos, where I'm sure all sorts of, you know, girls and distractions? So what would you say are the components of your marriage?
I think that some of those components are mutual respect for one another. 150% commitment to the cause, to the marriage, forgiveness. You obviously you have to put God first. Like, God has to be a part of your union. And, you know, communication is very important, effective communication. And I think those key components, if you have those things and you truly commit, I think that will be fine. I always say that marriage is what you make of it. There's obviously ups, there's the downs, there's the fights, there's the distractions, there's all of that. But, you know, because we're human. And as long as you're human, you have to be able to identify that, you know, you are capable of doing whatever that person does, because you're just as human as he or she is, right? So I think for me, those are the things that drive me. And of course, I had my mom and dad to watch. So my mom would always say, like, from here to my grave, I'm not going anywhere. Divorce is not an option.
Yes.
We're dying.
I remember the last live you did with your mom, actually.
Yes.
You actually, I think you trended on Twitter. You trended on Twitter because I think people felt like you were sending the wrong signal to young girls that, oh, whatever a man does to you, just take it. How did you feel about that?
You know, that wasn't the signal. That wasn't the message. I think that, you know, people really have to understand this union that is marriage, and people have to be in it for the right reasons. Those are the values that my mother raised me by with. Mm-hmm. And she would never leave her husband for cheating. She's like, I'm not going to do it. I would never do it. You know, I mean, these days it's not just men. Women cheat too. So, I mean, like, I think that wasn't the message. You know, it's not take whatever a man brings your way. It's just understanding your partner, understanding your values, understanding your morals, understanding your home, and making it work the best way that you can for you and your partner.
Absolutely. For you. Do what works for you at the end of the day. Yeah. I mean, that's what's most important. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to watch both of you. I mean, 10 years on, where, I mean, in this generation, I mean, and not to obviously judge anyone for, I mean, leaving or whatever, because people go through all sorts of things. But people often say that in this generation, we're less, tolerant? So people would leave their marriage at this. So do you think it's a matter? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, our parents, it's like this meme I used to see where they say, oh, we've been married for 50 years. And they show like a car that's all battered and like, that's, right. You've been married for 50 years, but you both look like, I mean, and your children are not speaking to you. Is that like happily married? You know, so as opposed to our generation where it's not working. So what do you think, what would you say is do you think things are better now that women are more aware? And so obviously if I'm in a relationship where it doesn't work, I will up and leave, as opposed to our parents that endured all sorts of things just because they wanted to stay married.
No, I think now a lot of women, a lot of marriages, a lot of people, they lack patience, and they're not as committed as our parents were. You know, they have that mentality of, I'm staying here, I'm dying here, I'm not going anywhere. But I think now there's so many options seemingly out there, and people are just not willing to commit or fight for the marriage. Right. You know, and marriage is not always about cheating. There's so many things, like, you know, there's so many ways to cheat in a marriage, not necessarily physical. True. You know, I mean, lying to your partner. There's so many ways to betray your partner. But honestly, I really think that people need to be more committed and understanding and just better communicators, you know. And I think that will really go a long way. I don't think that people have the staying power anymore. They're just like, I'm leaving, I'm going. Where are you going?
Like, it's easy to go. People glamorize upping and leaving. Like, it's that people don't tell you the downsides of actually upping and leaving as well. So there are pros and cons. Or they're not saying to stay in a toxic, you know, environment, but people glamorize just up and go. Like, it's that easy. There are certain things that happen when you up and go as well that you have to be aware of.
Right. And I think even in a toxic environment, I think that with work, with commitment, with prayer, I think that things do get better, you know. And I think that if you are going to throw in the towel, make sure that you're able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, pat yourself in the back and say, I did my best. Now it's time to walk. But until then, keep fighting, because it's worth it in the end. I'm, you know, honestly, I'm not, like, you know, like I say all the time, I'm not selling a dream, but I'm genuinely happy and I'm genuinely in love with my husband. Like, he's not perfect, but I love him to bits. And I'm not.
We can tell. Indeed, Ruth.
I love him so much. He's like, sometimes it's just like,
there's certain things you can't fake. There's certain things you can't fake. You can tell, you know, authenticity when you see that. And I mean, for me, and that's why I think a lot of people are fascinated with you, because, I mean, how long do you want to fake certain things? So, I mean, 10 years is no joke. By the way, 10 years is no joke.
What did you say?
I said 10 years is no joke.
Girl, it's not. And my husband works in a bank. Jesus.
I can imagine. Now let's talk about you as, I mean, real quickly, the business Abby has another side of you that's very fascinating, because I know you work with Grand X stores as one of the managers, directors.
Yeah.
And they also run Florence H,
yes.
which is like a luxury store.
Right.
Let me see, what else do you do? Okay, those two things
I have a brand, AKD Lifestyle. It's a lifestyle consultancy brand where, you know, we do events and we have other product ranges within the brand. So I like to call myself a lifestyle entrepreneur.
Right. Needless to say, you learned all of this you got this entrepreneurial spirit from your mom.
I definitely did.
Yes, has had Grand X stores for such a long time, and she's such a businesswoman. I mean, we can tell. And she's always hands-on as well, which I think you've also taken up, being more hands-on, ensuring that everything is stacked right and stuff like that. Do you feel like you have I know you obviously love your luxury store, but do you feel like there's pressure for everyone in the family to sort of carry on the family business?
I don't think there's pressure for everyone. I think the pressure is for me.
Why? Why?
Because I went to school. I got my bachelor's in finance. I got a BSc in finance. So I'm a numbers girl. Yes. And I got my MBA, and I wanted to go. I thought I was going to be an accountant. And because of my love for shoes and clothes, I decided to open, I moved to Nigeria, and I was like, okay, there isn't any store that I see that sells authentic, international brands in terms of accessories, women's accessories. And then I started Florence H Luxury, where I retail, women's and men's clothes now, and shoes and accessories. It's now more of a concept store. And it was 3 years ago, and my dad had this conversation with me, and he's like, well, yeah, you're a direct Grand X, you've always been, so now it's time for you to start running the retail aspect of the business. I was like, no, I don't want those. I don't want to sell oil. I don't want to sell cereal. Like, I want to do fashion.
Right.
And you said something really profound, and that changed my life. And I was like, I need to take this seriously. He was like, that cannot be your passion. Money needs to be your passion. I was like, oh. He was like, you can build on this platform of Granddad. This is my legacy, and this is what we've built over 39 years. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. So that's where the pressure comes from. I honestly, I have to be honest, I didn't love it. I didn't love it in the beginning, but it was something that I had to do for family legacy. And, I'm getting a hang of it. So I'm thankful for that conversation. And it was actually one of the last conversations that we had, again, before he passed. So I was like, okay, clearly, the pressure is on. He really wants me to take this on. So
I can totally imagine. And what tips, do you have like business tips? What are the things that sort of keep you going, especially on days where you really don't want to do this? What tips do you have? Business tips that help you and sort of make you the successful businesswoman that you are?
I think for me, I never take no for an answer. You have to keep going. You have to stay focused, keep your eyes on the ball, and always remember that there's a bigger picture. You have a dream, and you can't just give up on it. I think those are the things that drive me. I'm just like, I have to stay focused, my eyes on the ball. I have a dream going, and you have all these people that are looking up to you, and that you've inspired up until this point, and you've motivated. How are you now going to give up? So you just have to be a big girl, and you just have to do it. Just do it, because it eventually pays off. I'll tell you that for sure. And no dream is ever too big. I am the biggest dreamer. Like, if your dreams are not bigger than you, then you're not dreaming. So you just to have that willpower and keep going. It pays off. Hard work truly does pay off.
And hard work truly does pay off. It really does. It really
Consistency.
does. It really does. Wow, well done, Abby. I mean, well
Thank,
done with all that you do
thank you
and
so
all that you
much.
show us, all that you allow us to see. We're very inspired by it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Really grateful to have this live with you. Thank you, everyone that's joined us. I'm not going to keep her on for too much longer, but I
Thank you
mean,
guys. Thank you
is
everyone
there a
for
word of encouragement you have for someone out there who's watching in this Nigerian, we call it the Buhari economy? I mean, I know you're a prayerful person, so I don't know if you also believe in affirmations. I love positive affirmations,
I do.
so I mean, do you have a word of encouragement for someone out there who perhaps, you have such great fans here? Yeah, so I mean, yeah, let the evangelist Abby at you.
I think that in life we are all here for a reason, and we are all great and destined for greatness. I think that I would like to say that people just need to persevere and put God first, or believe in something, preferably God, but just believe in something, and surround yourself with positive people. We're not here to do life alone. God has put certain people in our lives for us to do life with. So surround yourself with the right people and just keep going.
Yeah.
And eventually, it would all work out for good. It always does.
It always does. All right. Someone says, I really love Abby. She inspires me so much. I love her relationship with her husband, especially. It is so inspiring to watch. So, hey, keep showing us all of those, romantic videos.
He doesn't want me to show it, but, I'll sneak.
I know. There was a time that he would, always like, no, you're not sure. Because you could sneak in, So, yeah, even that's all we get. We'll take it. We'll take it. And I know at one time you stopped showing your children as well. And you explained that obviously he also felt like he didn't want to put his children out there. And I can imagine because, I mean, safety, and stuff like that. So, but thank you, Abby. It's been such an amazing, 40 minutes talking to you. Thank you very much for talking to us and inspiring us. Keep inspiring us and keep being yourself. And I think most inspiring people are authentic people. And I think that's what people love about you, is the fact that you're authentic.
Thank you. And that is truly what I'm about. Like, if I can't be myself, then I don't want to do it.
Yep,
I don't want to do it. If
absolutely.
I can't be myself, I don't want to be around you. Like, you will get 150% of me.
Okay, absolutely. All right.
And that's
people who think that you're too much. Are there people who think that you're too much?
Be authentic. Stay true to who you are. Own your truth. Always.
Thank you, Abby.
The world will conform.
Thank you very much, Abby. Thank you so much. I hope that when we invite you next time, you will come on the live.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I contrary to what a lot of people think, I sometimes I'm shy. So it takes me a while.
I can tell sometimes. I can tell when someone's an ambivert, where they're out there, but still certain moments, obviously, they're like, oh, yeah. So we get it. We know it. Thank you very much, Abby. Thank you.
You were great. Thank you so much. I felt truly comfortable speaking with you. Thank you for having me. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you. I will save the live for those asking. You missed so many nuggets. I mean, we talked about the bag post. So if you didn't hear that bit and Abby's response to that, then I'm going to save this live on my page. So follow me at Ronkekiwa1. I'll save the live so you can listen all the way from the beginning. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Abby, once again.
Thank you so much.
A wonderful evening.
Having me. Have a great one. God bless you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. God bless you. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to end the live right now, and hopefully I'll try and save the video tonight. Thank you for watching. Thank you, all Abby's people. Thank you very much, everyone.
All right. Bye.